kept after my tomatoes well as I should.
Right, just move out of the, so I can get a picture of the garlic. I just want to get a standing shot of the garlic.
That's before he was married, or just about the time he was getting married. You know, and they would go lay the blankets down and have a little party up there. And I said, Roger, I'm going to cut the rent. I'm not going to pay for so much rent. I said, you keep knocking the hay all down. He still laughs about it. I knew that's how the hay got knocked down, because that's where they would bedded down.
I like your shirt.
Huh?
I like your shirt.
I wonder what you were aiming at.
Yeah.
Janet,
I like that
you
shirt.
came back.
If that shirt you find missing, I'll be wearing it.
Yeah, about.
So what did I
So you
hear?
made home with
They
Lou,
said
and then you
they
came
were
back
on
to
from
eat.
the same road,
Yeah.
same street.
Good.
Oh, neighbors.
Yeah.
Hey, what
Neighbors.
are you about the tickets?
About 50 years ago, but what's 50 years among friends?
I don't think Dad can get any cooperation from local businesses, or, you know what I mean, donations, or you'll not have anybody show interest.
Oh, we would have sold tickets, everybody.
Oh, sure. Maybe
Associate thinking that would be the same one.
I suspect he bought the, because he, I suspect, I'm not sure.
and roll. That kind of music just soothes my soul. I'm reminiscing about them days of old. We did old time rock and roll. One more time. I like that old time rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes my soul. Reminiscing about them days of old. We did old time rock and roll. That's right. Man, y'all do sound so good, guys. We can't thank you enough for being here, making it fun for us, too. Do us a big favor. Tell somebody about us. Drag them on back down here, because we'll be doing it again tomorrow. And each time it's a little different. You just never know.
Yep.
If any of you is interested in some of the music we're doing tonight, we do have 6 different CDs over there, and you can't beat this. They ain't but $5 a piece. So, hey, come over and check them out. We got some that had some of this music on it, and some of the other stuff on it. 2 brand new ones over there, a brand new country one, and a brand new bluegrass gospel one.
Yep.
All the money goes to our Mag Wheel Fund, all right? Just so you know, people always want to ask. It's going to our Mag Wheel Fund. We're saving for a set of Mag Wheels for our house, so there you go. We'll see you again tomorrow. Y'all take care.
Thanks for coming and have a good night.
You know, it's sad how these people compete against that. You know? Good looking animals.
Alright, come on guys, let's go do our coin thing.
Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? What do you like?
I like a cat right now. Don's got a cat.
Cat? They're messy. You don't like any of the dogs we had? Princess, Mingo. You don't like any of them people?
They're so beautiful, I can't make up my mind which one I want.
Could you ever take care of something like that?
Yeah.
Look at Teresa now, she's got a German Shepherd. That's the first time she's ever taken. Hey, that's a big wow, that one.
They're all
So you
bad.
buy purebred? There's so many purebred animals.
Yeah.
I would buy a purebred animal. There's so many to choose from, it's hard to make up.
Could you, like Teresa's got a German Shepherd. Look at that cow's only a year old. Look at how big it is. And it's small, right? You see how big that one was over there?
I know.
Probably
These are calves. These are little
These are
ones.
small babies, yeah.
Yeah, Mom's saying have a good day at work.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
He's Italian. Maybe he makes cheese.
On my left? No. Right next to me?
Maria's his tallest stuff.
No.
These belong to that little girl right there.
I gotta ask you.
Like that? Or sit on the show box?
I don't know who named her.
Sit on the show box.
Her mom and
How can we just...
old lady in the red.
Who gave the name of the cow? Mozzarella.
She did.
Any particular reason?
Sky, why did you name her Mozzarella? She don't know. Don't put those in your mouth.
That's an unusual name for a cow.
What was wrong with her, Sky? She was grumpy.
She was grumpy.
In the fall, when I...
What are you gonna do? Make a collage?
No, I make a CD. What do you call it? A DVD.
Yeah, I was born in 2002. It's 5 years old. I didn't think he was Hindu.
Dark and day is light. I keep you on my other gal will find this shirt. Who wants it out there? I'll make some more noise than that now. Come on if you want a free t-shirt.
Lost my place. Oh well.
This is the old-fashioned dark red beet. See, it hasn't got no flat like this one.
Yeah.
So you can't make anything out of peanuts and Cracker Jacks because it's entirely different. This beet is entirely different than these two. Now, what the person done, he probably sold 2 packages of beets. And what he did is he sold one and they got over with the ones that he was trying to pick, or he just said, that's a good one, and they picked it. I don't know. But you can't, they're 2 different varieties. That's just like black and white, red and blue. See? So that's why the apples and oranges is a good example. That's why they would get a second. And that's where I would place them, because first year that I did this, I like comments. I like comments put on there. Some people don't like comments. They get very upset for comments. Pros and cons. When I get called to go and do a judging of herbs and meats and stuff, I like to make comments. I tell the people in charge, do you want comments? No. I call them faces down. Okay. Because you can, right. Number one, what I look for is the variety type. Now these are pretty even, and you see this is a different variety because they've got points on them. See, these don't have that much point on. There's some other ones here. But anyway, you want to look and see, they're all about the same. If I had to pick one out because it didn't look good, it would be this one. Because it's a little bit smaller than these two here. See? Then you're looking for uniformity.
Right.
Now what I'm looking for when I turn them over like this, I'm looking to see if they're all the same characteristics, which they are. You see how they blend in.
Does it matter that there's these indentations?
No. I'll tell you where the indentations come from, and it's hard because of the wire baskets. So there's little things, unless you're going in for a grand champion part. You won't get this the day we judge because they bring them in on a Monday night and Tuesday morning. They're fresh off the vine. The judge judges them then. What this is, the warm weather, the heat in here, and these are heavy. You know, we call them heavy. You know, I mean, just feel them. They're not that heavy, but they're heavy. But we're laying them down like this, and that's where you get these marks. That comes from this here. We do not take anything off for that. But what we do look for is uniformity around each top crown. Now, another thing what we look for, and it's hard to tell it right now, because as I said earlier, they picked them off, they're nice and fresh, so you can see what blemish. Now see, this one's starting to turn already. We didn't count it off because it was totally green like this.
Oh, because it's turning light.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Once you pick them, and Grandma always set them in the window, all the windows around on the south side of the house because they want them right. Yeah. And they'll set them up like that, and that's the reason for it. This one's a little bit, let's see, yeah. See, this one's started to turn a little bit here, but not here because why? It's shaded down in the bottom here.
Okay.
And that's the reason. And these here, you look at these here. Now they're a little bit different, aren't they?
Oh, dark green.
They're dark green.
Darker green.
They're not mature. They've got big spouts. These here I wouldn't have picked till about another month and a half because this tells me that they've really got set good on the vine and they aren't really developed that large yet. And these are probably the large, big tomatoes when you get. But that's the way that they can tell
Fair
them.
came too early. They should have left the tomatoes
they
out
should
of
have
the
left them to get developed.
But you can't judge them. In other words, this is when they have to be judged.
Yes.
They can't wait.
Right. And that's the hardest part about it. I like the little ones. They've got so much varieties because the customer would like more variety. This one here.
If you were to grow tomatoes just for your for table use, what variety would you? Like
What variety?
If you could choose one.
Jet Black Star.
Just Star?
Yes, and them are the bigger ones up in the case.
Yeah, I've had those.
And yes, and they're probably
My problem
too big.
is I need a fence around my yard because we have deer.
Yeah, well,
They like
I just
tomatoes.
got news from my daughter and my daughter-in-law that I've got 8-10 cabbages and one of them got half ate up because I don't have no fence around my yard. I use dry blood, which gives nitrogen back in the soil. And I just sprinkle about a teaspoon around on each.
Critters away?
It keeps all critters away. Something about it. The rabbits don't like it. The deer don't like it. And everybody in Hornsville goes nuts because they don't understand why. They see deer coming down right past my garden. As a matter of fact, they go right through it. And they don't as long as I'm out there working because the scent or something from me, they go around. But they love cabbage. One of my cabbages got lost. I'm going home tomorrow night, you know. I got some business I got to take care of. I will fix that. But every time it rains, you have to put the dry blood because what the rain does was washes it down in the soil and it loses its scent and stuff. I wanted to show you on this one here. You see, this is an entirely different type of tomato. These are like Egyptian off variety. And if it's not that, you'll get that from heirloom too. You'll have heirlooms, the old-fashioned tomatoes.
Right.
And you'll get that, and I'm expecting that the way these are, they're an heirloom because they're all the
Kind
same.
of irregular around
Yes,
the top.
yes, and that's the way they used to grow, the old-fashioned tomatoes, like that and stuff. But that's why I got a second. It was starting to develop here, but it wasn't developed real good here. We'd like to see them more, like the ones up in the front case. These are called pear tomatoes. This got a second, and the reason this one got a second is if you take a good look at it, they're not uniformity, and that takes a couple of points off from your judging score. You start with 100, you start working back, and what do you get? But they are very nice. They use these a lot for sauces,
Right.
and stuff like that. But they've come out. And I say this, and that's why we're changing the book a little bit. You cannot take and put plum tomato in the same class as our big tomatoes.
Right.
There's so much difference in variety. So how do you do it to make it fair for everybody?
Right.
It's the same way with these. These are cherry tomatoes. Well, now there's nobody in my mind would say, yes, that's a good cherry tomato, but that's fully ripe, ready to bust the steams.
Is it really?
Well, you see the marks starting to come down through it? That'll split very soon. But these are yellow plums.
Okay.
They're cherries, I'm sorry. These are red cherries. Now, to me, I felt, of course these are mine, I felt very serious at this time.
They look like mine.
This is what I call cherry tomato. It's more like a regular cherry. That's my opinion. And I stress very much on when I buy my plants that I get true cherry tomatoes. And that's what I call cherry tomatoes. And there's nothing wrong. That's about as good as you're going to see as far as cherry tomatoes. And I have to bring that up to you.
I didn't think I was getting cherry tomatoes when I got them.
Well, you know,
They taste good, but they're too small.
yeah, well, that's what a lot of people
I'm in
think.
the garden.
They're nice in a salad.
The
Right,
man's talking
right.
there. I can't talk too loud. The man speaking of
Another thing I want to show you
tomatoes.
is showing.
I can't talk too
Got
loud.
it down here.
He's giving a little lecture.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was...
Because I'm going on a different subject right
I was
now.
saying to my husband, I
Here,
have
come to the garden
see
then.
one more thing here.
Okay.
Then we're going to take off.
Yeah, we're the food
No,
side.
show me
We'll
what
see,
you want to show
fruit,
me.
Okay.
vegetables. And the man's giving a good talk here. I'm just videotaping it. He's really a genius. The guy's a genius. You gotta come
Okay,
here.
first of all, this
Come here right
is
now.
my Swiss chart. I'm
It's a
trying to
horticulture
experiment.
building. It's called a horticulture.
And as a master gardener, I do a lot of experiment.
Come now.
99% of the Swiss chard, when it came in Tuesday morning, it looked beautiful. And it dries up, and it gets a little bit crappy and stuff. So I'm doing a little experiment to see how, mine would be just like that if I didn't do this. But I'm trying to do different things and see what it does. I belong to the Cornell experimental team. That you go out in the real life and grow and stuff. You want to know, you got to keep accurate records and then report back to them. So I'm on that team, and then I'm trying to do a little experiment. How can I preserve something? Now, I wouldn't eat this. It hasn't got anything other than Miracle Grow into it, but I put it on a lot stronger than I would if I was just doing it to get the plant started. Because my theory behind it is
That's
the
what
book
wrapped
says,
up in some paper
right,
towel
the book says
to keep it.
you gotta have a root on everything you show, a root.
Right.
And that's what's in here, wrapped up with paper towel and water.
That kept the whole thing fresh.
I cleaned the dirt all off from it, and I put in this chemical, which is just Miracle Grow Strong. I wanted to get it full charge. Now, anytime you pull a plant out, what does it do? It starts wilting. We call that shocked, because it gives it a shock because it's not getting its nutrients. So I shocked it by putting this in Miracle Grow in and just dumped it in a pail of water like this. Not the leaves, just the root. And I left it for 12 hours. And I'm proud to tell you this because I didn't know what I was going to do either. My wife says, well, they're nice leaves. What are you going to do? I got lots of it out there, honey. I mean, if it don't work when I get ready to go tomorrow morning, I can grab another shot and go. But I mean, I do think it does preserve it. If it does, it's going to help everybody because I'm going to be promoting it to do this when you just show. But like I say, it's got a lot of nutrients in it. I don't know how it would be tasted. I'm not going to taste it, but I mean, I wanted to see everything. It's just like a lot of your stuff comes in. I heard tonight, you know, a lady said, "Oh my God, I wouldn't eat that. Look at it, it's all curled up." Well, they don't understand. I mean, they probably picked that. That's right. And we don't usually eat any other than the tomatoes. We will eat them, you know, but we don't eat a lot of the stuff. It just goes in the garbage.
So I'm from Oneida County. If I want to get in touch with you, how would I do that?
Call the Herkimer County Extension down to Herkimer.
Okay.
And talk with Bernie or one of the girls. And I work with him. I'm one of the master gardeners. And I do presentations for
you're
Bernie.
John?
I'm Ron Smith.
You're Ron Smith.
Yes, yes. I'm Ron Smith.
Okay.
And Bernie's helped me. We work together a lot. And I give presentations. This year I gave a presentation on pH soil testing, which, as being a farmer, I'm very disappointed in one way that people do grow vegetables, don't even know what soil testing is. You know, that's true. And I've got pamphlets in here on pH and stuff like that. What that is the balance of your soil, what the nutrients are in on it. What that does, we check for nitrogen, how much nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. Them are the three chemicals that grow vegetables. And if you want to get it in depth, go to calcium and what you know, it's in the soil. We send that into Cornell and they test that. There's a small charge for that. Same, it's like $2 or something for the pH, and he does it right in the office over there and stuff. But I like to promote people to how to understand soil testing. So they can get the right nutrients. And I did this because I went to a couple of classes up in Ohio, and a lady called me, and she had 24 tomato plants. And she couldn't understand why they're wilting because she just put them in 2 days ago. And I said, 24 wouldn't shock all at once. You know, something had to be going on more than that. So first thing I did is I said to her, what's your pH? She didn't even know what I was talking about. And so I explained it to her, and I said, may I pull up one? She said, yes. Well, when I dug around and pulled it up, there were no root systems, which roots slide out. And I do this on a presentation on slides. I put all mine together from the experience I had. And I said to her, ma'am, how long have you had these in? And she said, probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I said, well, what's this white powder system? You know, because I didn't know what it was. Oh, so she goes in the house, she comes out with 5 boxes of tomato fertilizer, powder. And I said, my God, I said, what'd you do with all that? And she says, I put it around each plant. And I says, well, you didn't need that much. You only need about a teaspoon around each one. Oh no, the gentleman told me that I better buy 4 or 5 because that's the way it would work out, because on account of, you know, you got 24, you'll need all this.
I kind of buy one of similar.
Well, that's true. I was a little disappointed in that, you know, and I didn't say, I hope you ain't taping this. You are, or you're not?
You'll get a copy. Don't worry. It's for your benefit.
So anyway, you go start something.
No.
No. I mean, it's because my wife does this all the time. She said, you want to tape yourself.
This doesn't go anywhere.
And I said, good.
No.
Okay. And I said to her, well, you know, you don't use all of this. And so I went to that store. She told me where. I went to that store, and it was like a regular customer. And I said, well, I got 24 plants and I want to put some fertilizer. What do you recommend? Goes right over and gets just what I can see. And she goes, well, now you ought to put this. Now he's about 17. And I said, are you out of high school? Or, no, he said, I'm going to college. He said, this is just a part-time job for me. And I said, well, God, how much do you think I ought to use it? Oh, he said, I think you ought to get 4 boxes anyways. You got 24. I said, well, how much do I put on each one? Well, just sprinkle it around. And, you know, so I brought that to the attention of the manager as a master, not as a complainer, as a master gardener, because you're burning up everything you got there. And he was very, very nice, and I was very nice. And I says, the reason for that is, ma'am, for 24 plants, 1 box would do it, because you only put down a half a teaspoon for around. But I said, please don't tell them you got to use it, because you're burning the roots right up. And they didn't. They didn't have any tomatoes at all this year.
Pay attention to everything.
And you know, and that's the kind of stuff you run into. And I feel good in my heart. I could explain something because I understand it and do it the right way. And this is why you see the quality coming up, because we've lectured and done things and explained to them what we were doing, you know. And I'm very proud with everybody, and they're happy to come back. And because I give comments to you and stuff. I did have a few people that didn't like comments, but to me, I'd rather have a comment how it was than how to do it right than not to have it at all. So that's the end of my story.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I hope to see you again.
Yes, I could talk and listen. Vegetable varieties for gardens. This is a website you can put on whatever you want to search for. If you want to search for sun gold tomatoes, they give them a rate through Cornell, see? And you can go on, and then you can go on and get anything you want. What type? This is what I like. I haven't done in the last couple of years because I started with Cornell and I put on my raised beds. That carrots grow good in raised beds and stuff like that. And I had a lot of feedback, you know, why this, why that, you know. I could sit at the computer all day. And so I haven't been putting on too much lately. But they'll give you comments and what would be variety. I try to stress what varieties, and I change varieties every year because I want to see what's going to grow in our area, in the Utica, Herkimer area, because it might not grow, which it don't, up in Colebrook or Poland, because it's too high elevation. Another variety would grow better there than what we do here. So and this is why it's just like people on the weather spotters, you know, all over. But Cornell's starting to develop spotters for the whole area, and I'm one of the participants because I enjoy it and stuff. And some people won't enjoy it because they'll ask a lot of questions when they feedback to you on the email, and I know all the answers, and then they'll say, I'm not going to monkey with them. But I mean, I love to do it, and I love to answer them back, you know. And that's helping who? You, the county extension, the whole 9 yards. You know, what's going to do. And like I said, Bernie gets some questions, and he usually calls me, and I'll take the time, and I'll run. And I like to run up. And he keeps saying, take care of your time, you know, give me your time. You know, no, that's okay. Because I just like to do it for you, and I don't even know you, but I just love to talk to you. And it's educational. And
I'm interested in, you know, we have friends that have much bigger gardens than I have and we have. And this year I had some good luck with my cucumber pickles, my pickle-sized cucumbers. I had good luck with squash. But
do you have the Hubbard squash?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and I have some. Hubbard squash didn't do so well. The butternut did well. Yeah.
What do you use for pH? What's your pH on your garden?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and I don't know the answer.
Okay. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What it's,
I'll get it. Yeah.
And the easiest way to do that is take a quart jar and get
Was the squash grow better in alkaline or acidic soil?
It more like acidic soil.
Like a little acidic, huh?
Yes. Say like here's your garden. Here like it's a square. I'm just gonna put it as a square. Okay. You want to take a soil sample here, maybe here, and here, here, and here, here, and here. Now you've covered that whole area. Okay, put it in a pail and mix it all up good. And when you, and make sure when you do it, the ground is dry, the dirt is dry, because it's misleading if you take a mayonnaise jar and fill it up and take it down to the Cornell to get tested. It's very, because if it's wet, it'll read different than if it's dry. So you want to get it as dry as possible. I took my beds, I took them in for a demonstration because I give a pH class this spring. And I knew what it was. I knew last fall what it was.
Does it change from spring to...
It does, depends on the variety of vegetable that you're growing. For example, beans give off their own nitrogen. So you don't have to have as much nitrogen. But we do what we call is rotation. And that means all that means if you have a row of beans here this year, you'll want to skip maybe put them here this year. Because you don't want, because it's got nitrogen here, so you want to maybe put squash right in here where this beans was. See what I'm saying? Because they need nitrogen. It's already in the soil because...
Can I use Miracle Grow to overcome these problems?
Do I use Miracle Grow?
Can I use this to overcome the problem?
Yeah, but you can get too much Miracle Grow.
A lot of them have different percentages of nitrogen on the container. What do you want to stick with?
I would probably well, there again, it depends on your soil. I can't really tell you unless I knew what your soil thing was. If you had, neutral is 7. 7, that's neutral.
No, from the acid base scale.
That's the alkaline.
Yeah, right.
Is 7, neutral.
Right, it's neutral.
Okay, potatoes. Don't ever get over 5.5 because they like sour stuff.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when you buy these fertilizers, they have the percentage of hydrogen.
I can tell, how much is it?
25% nitrogen.
Are you taping him?
On and off, nothing.
This is the lady who took the picture of the falls. And I didn't
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was listening.
We'll
This
stay
is
here.
interesting.
No. She wanted me to stay, so that's where I'm at. I was going to get you
I
in
had to put
trouble.
some fertilizer in my plants, my shrubbery, and it says percentage of nitrogen in the fertilizer.
Correct.
It's like 25%. He said that's pretty high.
It's high.
That's
Yes.
high. But you don't need
You-
one
you get-
tablespoon per gallon. It said.
Right.
That's all of water.
And the way you tell that is you'll see different percent. You say 10, 10, 10.
Oh, 10, 10, 10.
That means 10% of it's nitrogen.
Okay.
10% of it is phosphorus.
Okay.
And 10% is potash. That's why them 10, 10, 10 or 7, 0, 4. Nitrogen's always the first number.
So 10% nitrogen would be the first number on it.
It would be the first number.
All right.
Now, if you get down and some of them will say 0, 7, 0. They won't get that. I'm just throwing these numbers out. No nitrogen in it at all. 7% potash.
Potash.
Yep. And phosphorus is nothing. And so therefore, what are you going to use that for?
I don't know.
Tomatoes, because they need the root system, and that potash and stuff gives it the root system to do. And so, but they do need nitrogen too, so you would put some in.
Can I ask you something?
Yep.
A lot of people grow tomatoes around here. But you know what? Not all tomatoes around here taste the same.
That's right.
Now, how do you get a nice, sweet, juicy tomato? What's the secret
I can't answer that.
You don't know?
No. Because, and I'll tell you the reason why I don't know.
Somebody took me out of their garden. I didn't care for them. They had the garden tomatoes. They don't taste the
Okay.
They're bland.
Because you don't know what's in that soil.
It could be clay they grew it in.
That's right. You do not know what's in the soil, and that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, they don't taste
Until you get a full analysis of what I was talking about earlier. But this is the roundabout handy way of just these three, see what you've got. But until you get a full analysis, you might have sulfur in there, or you might have copper, which is no needed in
So
some
every
vegetables.
vegetable would have its own need that it would need.
That's right.
So you'd have to
So you
figure
have
out
to-
what the soil is first, and then
That's
compensate for it
correct.
by figuring out
That
what you
is
need to do in
correct.
the soil.
That is- now you see, you got the education.
Now you're getting into something
Now we
really
know.
technical.
That's right. I can stay
Yeah, I
here
mean,
5 hours and talk to
That's
you,
too
but I
technical.
can't.
I'm not gonna get into
No,
it.
Okay.
A vegetable, that this is a shell vegetable, just like you're showing a cattle. Now, can you see why?
All right.
Oh, that
That's
looks
smooth,
nicer.
That's sprinkly.
Is this good?
I don't know.
It's delicious,
I gotta taste it.
but it is.
Is it juicy and hot?
But they could have taken off this skin for show.
Right.
Okay, when you show, they have to be uniform.
That definitely is not uniform over there.
Same as tomatoes.
So this got first place, but you think that tastes better though?
No, it tastes the same.
It's not stronger. Is that juicier than this one? This has got the purple vein in it.
Yeah, but it's a different kind.
It's not the Spanish variety, no?
Mom could tell you the name of it. In fact, that's ours.
You grow that in your fields?
No, we got all raised beds.
They're good.
He
Now,
was
how is
the-
that for drainage?
He talked about the raised bed.
Okay, raised
carrots.
bed.
What does that do for the garlic?
Our raised beds are off the ground.
Oh, wow.
They have legs, and your air can circulate
Underneath,
the
yeah.
whole thing. Nicest part about it, if you got lousy soil, we compost. We make our own soil. So it's sitting on the ground, and we have about 10 of them. I spoil them.
Where are you? Now, I know
Up in
I
Van
know
Hornsville.
Does that come with the
Hornsville.
garlic? Does that come nice and juicy? Most
This
lot of
is great.
garlic-
Oh, yeah.
A lot of garlic is not juicy. It's dull. It doesn't have any heat to it.
Coming
you know?
coming from Route 20, let's say.
Into Van Hornsville?
Into Van Hornsville.
Okay.
Where
you
are
come
you?
right. You come past the firehouse.
I know the firehouse.
Okay. We are the next house. We're the big white house right across from the pond. We are the 5th generation in.
Really? Because then you're crossing from the school.
No, the pond.
Oh, the pond.
And if you ever been down in Nature Trail?
No.
The school has a Nature Trail that is phenomenal.
Really?
It's open to the public. And it's past
Do they
the
have
school.
tours of the nature trail?
You can ask different ones, but no, there's no tours. It's fantastic down there. And the lady that Ron's talking to right now took a picture of the falls down in there, and that's what he wanted to meet her.
And
See, that's what show is.
But that's good. That doesn't mean that's not good garlic. It just doesn't look as appealing to the eye as this
Right,
maybe.
right,
But it could be still
right.
good, right?
Like when you
that's
show.
basil.
Now when you
That's
show.
nice basil. Let me smell that. Does it got smell?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and it's
When you
basil.
show,
Oh, man,
your
it's
judge
nice.
your
Eat
judge
that
is
just like
looking
that.
for if there's a bug on it or a dead leaf or something, then he's not going to give you first. That's what show means. And a lot of people say, well, I'd buy that and just pinch it off. Well, sure you would.
Yeah, but that's not yeah, this is a show though, like you said. Yeah.
We've been doing.
It's not yours. That one is.
This one is
So
ours.
how many heads do you do a year, like of garlic?
We have about 100.
Okay, small.
Yeah, just for.
Yeah, personal
He's
use.
a person.
Friends.
We got family and
Give
all.
away,
Yeah.
But it's raising. It's
But
not
he
on a
was a
raised
big-
bed though.
It's on raised beds. Yeah.
I'd like to
Doesn't
see
require a
that.
root system.
No, it's a root system, but it's above.
But he hasn't built this high.
Oh, it's above the ground.
It's above the ground.
Does your husband have a greenhouse as well?
No,
Does
we
he
haven't
start
gotten
things?
that far ever, because we don't have the land. Well, he does everything else.
Hey, it's Will Rogers, number 2.
Did you guys want to try? It's not very hard.
You want to try us?
I taught them how to do it in just a minute.
Abby, can you throw this away in the garbage over there?
Yes, he wants to. Go in a circle. Like that.
Wow.
He needs some boots.
He's a natural.
Yes, he is. Good job. High five, dude.
Jump up there.
Knuckles over here. Knuckles. Knuckle up. Oh, Knuckles. All right, now, has anybody seen my horse? I'm out looking for my horse. I tied him up, went inside to go to the little boy's room, came out. Have you seen my
Did you
horse?
see his horse? He was awful horse.
Are you sure? It's a black and white shepherd pony. I'll keep looking. If you see him, let me know. My name is Shorty, okay?
His name is Jordy.
He's not talking. He thinks I'm too tall. See you later, big guy.
How's he walking those things?
Hey, Daddy, look over there. Let's go there. Hey, Dad.
Hey, she really want to pick it up?
We have 13 in this class, I believe. Last one, we have a green out on the speedway. What? This is San Diego, I'm sorry. This is San Diego. I don't know the phone. 150. He's looking at 2. He's looking at 250. He's trying to fire it up down there. 260. Nice ball. Let's give him a nice round of applause. That is Scott Nagel out of Little Falls. Alright. Okay. Scott Nagel, he was listed as caller number 10. That's a 78 Chevy. This is 290 feet. 0.37. 290.37. I will get a hold of Dan and see if he figures this is okay. He wants to reset the sled or not. If he gives me an okay, we're going to go with it.
Oh my God. What did I do?
Need one of those. Those are happy napkins.
so miserable at a fun-packed, thrill-packed 50s and 60s show, huh? I guess you're still upset that, you know, since you're not the daddy of Anna Nicole's baby girl, you're not going to get all that money. And let me tell you, folks, he had plans for that money. He had big plans. You know what he was going to do? I thought it was a good idea. You got those stores up here? You got big lots up here? You got those? He was going to buy up all the big lots. Then he was going to come down south to Tennessee where I live and buy up all the grocery stores called the Piggly Wiggly stores. You got those? Then he was going to go on down the coast in the Carolinas and buy that big grocery store chain, Harris Teeter's. He was going to buy all those, combine them into one store and call it Big Wiggly Teeters. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Where do you get a hat like that?
Looks like an orange.
Where do you get out? Ask her where you get a hat like. Okay.
What are your sisters?
Are you sisters?
We are.
You are?
We're all cousins.
All right. Are you a brother?
Cousin.
Cousin? All right.
Aren't they? Good rides?